Okay, the second way that you are turning your audience off unbeknownst to you, and if you see me looking down, I just have my notes here so I make sure I'm not forgetting anything to tell you. The second way you turn your audience off, making assumptions. Making assumptions. Let me give you an example about what I mean. You decide that you don't want to give this story in your speech, the story about you skiing, or the story about you snowboarding, or the story about you climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, because you don't think this Black audience will understand. Why? Because you don't think that Black people are active. That's what you have always had as this perspective of Black people. Black people are not caring about those types of activities. Skiing, snowboarding, mountain climbing. We don't do those type of things. Black people don't do those types of things. So I'm not even going to mention this story in my speech about my experience with skiing, because they're not going to be able to relate to it. Even though this story would fit perfectly within the speech that I'm giving. That's one broad assumption that I'm giving you as an example. Here's another one. I am not going to talk to this audience of mostly men. I'm not going to bring up the story about when I had to have a heart-to-heart talk with my husband. Why? Because men really aren't as emotionally intelligent as women. This story is not going to resonate with them at all. They're not going to get it. Another sweeping assumption that we make. Sometimes we do not realize the assumptions that we have about a group of people. Okay? Let me make this caveat. I'm not talking about if you're speaking to a specific group, say if it's a church that you're speaking to, like a Baptist church, or you're speaking to a particular association, a particular company, where they have their mission statement, their core values, or in the church's case, they have their statement of faith right on your website, so you know exactly what they stand behind, what their beliefs are as a collective. That, in that case, that is not you just assuming. That is clearly what this group of people here, they are subscribing to. I'm talking about other things that are a bit more subjective. It's just you making an assumption about someone because of the color of their skin, or maybe because they grew up in this part of the country. Oh, well, I'm not going to mention this because people on the West Coast, you know, they all think this way, so I'm not even going to talk about this. You got to be careful making those types of assumptions about people.